What is a man of taqwa? Who is a man of taqwa? What is taqwa-centered manhood? And what does this look like in a man or a woman? What is taqwa? You will hear me talk about this a lot, especially as I talk about male supremacy 101, and how there's a difference between divine supremacy, which is the Islamic model of religion, and male supremacy, which is the Western model of religion. And one of the manifestations of a person who is living upon divine supremacy, the Islamic model of religion, is taqwa. And you will find this in a woman or a man. Now, we can translate it as God consciousness, but it is so much more than that. And the most important aspect of a person of taqwa is their abundance mindset, their wealth mindset, their belief in possibilities way beyond ones that they've ever seen or experienced in their culture, in their families. And this is what the Quran tells us. These are people who visualize and believe in a reality they have never seen. In fact, this is the first description that Allah gives them in the Quran. So when we're talking about them, I'm only going to give you 2 ayat because it's so deep. And in my classes, I go into so much detail so that you can understand this on a personal level. But obviously, with social media, we can only do a little bit of sound bites on this. So in the beginning of the Quran, in Surah Al-Baqarah, after the opening chapter of Al-Fatiha, Allah begins the Quran like this. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alif Lam Mim. ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه هدى للمتقين الذين يؤمنون بالغيب. Now, there's more to the ayah that I just finished, but to save time, I just stopped there for the first description that Allah gave. So he's saying, Alif Lam Mim, this is the book, meaning the Quran, where there is no doubt, and it is a guidance for the people of taqwa. He didn't even say Muslims here. Obviously, people of taqwa are Muslims, but they're not just any Muslim. They're a special type of Muslim. And the first description that he gave to them, the first description that he gave of them in the Quran is that these are people of taqwa. They don't just have taqwa, they embody it and they live it. Okay? And the first description of these people who have taqwa, who embody taqwa, is that they believe in the ghaib, the unseen. And the unseen includes, yes, it includes Allah, Jannah, the hereafter, all of that, but it also includes unseen realities and possibilities in this world, as is made clear in the Quran much later when he says that the people of taqwa will have victory and inherit the earth and so on and so forth. The only way this is possible is they have an abundance mindset and they believe in something beyond what's in front of them. Okay? There's so many proofs for this. But these are the people who are going to get the guidance of the Quran more than anyone else. Okay? So you receive the guidance of the Quran to the point that you have taqwa. And the first description of embodying taqwa is that before Allah even mentioned prayer, because right after this, he mentions they established the salah. Before he mentioned the salah, he mentioned their mindset. I want you to hear me. Before Allah even mentioned the worship of these people, the good deeds of these people, he mentioned their mindset. These are people who can sit in darkness and see light. Not because they're confused about what's in front of them, but because they're not confused about who their creator is and what he can and will do for them. This is abundance mindset. الَّذِينَ يُؤْمِنُونَ بِالْغَيْبِ. So let's go back to a man of taqwa versus a male supremacist man. Okay? A male supremacist man has poverty mindset and will always complain about what he sees. The West, feminism, the economy, all of this. This will always be his outlook. And then he will say back to you, how can you say X, Y, and Z when women are doing this to men, when the world is like this? Poverty mindset. This is a man who lacks taqwa. Doesn't mean he doesn't have any, but he lacks taqwa. He does not embody it. Okay? Similarly with women. They will talk like this, male supremacist women or women who are disconnected from their taqwa. So the first thing you look for in a man or in yourself, most importantly in yourself, is do you have a mindset where you can accept and believe in for yourself that you can and will, with the help of Allah, have a life, have an experience that you've never experienced, that you've never seen, that no one in your family has ever known, that you didn't even know was possible because you know who your creator is. This is what Allah is talking about. And then only after he establishes that these are the people who are getting the guidance, they have embodied taqwa, they believe in this unseen possibility and realities for their life in this world. Yes, and in the hereafter, but you will find throughout the Quran it is about the life in this world. Okay? Only after that does he mention anything about worship and good deeds. I'm not going to go into too much detail. My brain is just like, because I teach this in my classes, but I wanted to tell you the mindset. To get in that space, it needs to be in a space of anah. Because the Prophet ﷺ already told us about that. Al-anah min Allah, wal-ajala min ash-shaytan. This calm nervous system, clarity. This is from Allah. And the shaitan wants you to be in haste and anxiousness. And always, well, this happened, and that. Because you're not believing in the unseen. And Allah talks about the people who are able to be patient upon getting the help are the people who have khushu', which is a type of anah, and specifically in salah, but also in other parts of their life. They have a calm, clarity, and focus and nervous system. But Allah makes it very easy for you, and this will be my last piece of information for how to become a woman of taqwa, and if you're a man of taqwa. He starts very simple. He doesn't just tell you the traits, he also gives you the formula. And the first piece of advice, the first formula is in ayah 21 in Surah Al-Baqarah. Shortly after he talked about the descriptions of the people of taqwa, he says, Ya ayyuhan nas u'budu rabbakum alladhi khalaqakum walladhina min qablikum la'allakum tattaqun. He's saying, oh mankind. So here, this is actually da'wah, even to non-Muslims. Like if you want to have this greatness in the world, this wealth mindset and abundance, all people, but specifically the ones who are going to listen the most, which are Muslims. He makes it very simple. And this starts your journey of taqwa, and you can do it today. He says, oh mankind, oh human beings, worship your Rabb. And the Rabb is your creator. You're the owner and manager of your life. He's calling himself Rabb, so you know who's in charge. So you don't have to worry about your fears and your traumas. Worship the one who created you, who's in charge of your life, who is managing your life and all of the universe, who created you and those who came before you. And then he says, لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ, so that you will attain taqwa. And he's using this taqwa as a verb, meaning you will start to live taqwa, and then you will begin to attain it the more you live and worship me and trust me, until it's embodied inside of you and you are actually going to have a wealth mindset. And then in a hadith from the Prophet ﷺ, he talks about the people who have that level of tawakkul. Allah will provide for him or her like he provides for the birds. They go out in the morning with their stomachs empty and they come back full. Even though, keep in mind, watch a bird when he comes out in the morning. He doesn't know which part of the earth that his provision is going to come from. But when he doesn't find it there, he just goes to another spot until he comes back home, totally satisfied and provided for. This is you. And all you have to do is worship Allah. Start with your prayers and your relationship with the Quran and go from there. Barakallahu feek.